Yeah, sure. If I
Could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? Do you want to waste the time and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind.
Betrayal has been the prevailing mood among Trump supporters and the pioneers of the MAGA movement after the Justice Department released a memo denying the existence of any client list maintained by sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The theory of a client list emerged with the suicide of Epstein in prison, where he was serving a sentence for soliciting prostitution from minors. It was widely believed that a ledger of his clients' names was maintained by Epstein, who were the regulars to his island where sexual assault of the minors used to take place. Now, why is a list at the forefront of the agitation? The so-called list is believed to carry the names of the most powerful people in this world. It allegedly holds the names of mighty politicians, business tycoons, and stars of the entertainment industry. This belief was further cemented after powerful influential personalities, including the royals, were reported to be in contact with Epstein. Epstein's island was in fact labelled as the Blackmail Island, and the list was considered an instrument to it. It is interesting to note that this notion was not just an internet thing, but received the approval of Donald Trump when he promised America to declassify the list and records once he assumed power. Strong hopes of justice rose among the people when, in February 2025, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, claimed that a certain client list of Epstein was sitting on her desk to be reviewed, and it would be released shortly. Not just her, but in 2023, the now FBI Director Kash Patel claimed that Epstein's Black Book is under the direct control of the FBI, and President Trump should release the book on day one. President Donald Trump's Justice Department scrambled on July 8th to answer questions after its leadership concluded there was no evidence to support several long-held conspiracy theories about the death of accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein and his alleged clientele. On July 8th, as US Attorney General Pam Bondi attended the cabinet meeting with the other members of the Trump administration, a reporter again asked her about the Epstein files. However, the president came to Bondi's defense, quickly shutting down the reporter.
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein,
Yes.
it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for an American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of his death?
Yeah, sure. If I
Could
could.
I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? Do you want to waste the time and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
The government's denial has massively enraged its supporters, and the internet has begun to speculate all the possible reasons behind the big betrayal. The first one to enrapture the internet was Elon Musk's tweet that indicated Trump's name on the Epstein list. However, later he withdrew the claim. The release of prison footage by the investigators, which seems to skip a minute in the footage, has led to an explosion of questions about whether Epstein's suicide was a murder to protect his clients. Pam Bondi tried to refute the theories by saying that it was a routine reset done by the prison authorities every day, which led to the 1-minute gap. The outrage doesn't subside with this clarification, as information like FBI Director Kash Patel's girlfriend's link with Coverup has emerged, whose CEO is allegedly linked to Israeli Defense Forces. Investigative reports claim that Epstein was working in collusion with Mossad to lure potential influential people into the child trafficking ring. These theories and anger around Epstein's crimes do not seem to settle down anytime soon. However, in the recent light of events, the Epstein case seems to lose its ground as the debate keeps bouncing from the list of clients, to the number of victims, to arrests and protection of minors. From acting as the flag bearer of child protection to brushing evidences under the carpet, President Trump now shuts down the reporters by saying that discussing that creep at this point looks like a waste of time. For years, the MAGA movement has leaned heavily on conspiracy theories surrounding Jeffrey Epstein, promising bombshell revelations and secret client lists that would expose the global elite. But with the Justice Department's latest memo debunking those very claims, and Trump allies like Pam Bondi and Kash Patel backpedaling or contradicting their past statements, the narrative appears to be unraveling. From Bondi's now disputed remarks about a client list and alleged Epstein videos to Patel's resurfaced claims of a cover-up by government gangsters, the Epstein files have left MAGA scrambling for answers. On July 7th, DOJ and the FBI released a new report concluding that Epstein had no client list, there was no blackmail operation, he died by suicide in his jail cell. To back the suicide claim, the agencies also released surveillance footage, reportedly showing no one entering Epstein's cell area that night. But this too is facing scrutiny, as observers noted a missing minute of footage between 11:59 p.m. and midnight, a gap that some say is more than enough to raise red flags in the digital age of deepfakes and AI-generated video. The DOJ memo denied several popular conspiracy theories surrounding Epstein's death and the alleged blackmail operation. Among them, that Epstein was murdered, that a client list of elite abusers exists, or that video evidence shows prominent individuals engaged in illegal activity. It stressed that there was no evidence suggesting Epstein was murdered or that he maintained any kind of so-called client list that has long fueled speculation. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has reignited his feud with US President Donald Trump over the Jeffrey Epstein files. The tech billionaire and former ally of the US president accused the government of shielding offenders and called it deeply broken. He also shared a picture on X that read, "More squirrels and raccoons have been arrested than anyone on Epstein's client list." In a follow-up post, he questioned Trump's credibility over the long-suppressed Epstein files. How can people be expected to have faith in Trump if he won't release the Epstein files? He added. Musk has vowed to make exposing the Epstein files a priority for his new political party, the America Party. When a user asked if revealing Epstein-related information would be a top priority, Musk responded with a 100 inches emoji. Earlier on July 7th, Musk mocked the Trump administration's handling of the case, posting an image that read, "The official Jeffrey Epstein pedophile arrest counter with the counter set to 0000. What's the time? Oh look, it's no one has been arrested o'clock again, he captioned the post.